So what you're going to do when you come over here to ONeal.com, you are going to see this. This is our website, right? Every single day we're updating this thing. If you're looking for a pay raise in the year 2024, hey, come over here and click this out. But here's what you really need to be paying attention to. All right, come over here to articles and you will see our latest articles. And this is what I love about this page. So every Tuesday and Thursday, we're dropping brand new articles. As you can see here, yesterday we just dropped, hey, what you need to know about Biden's new student loan forgiveness plan. And if you can click on this, I'll click on this in a little bit, but here's what I love about this. As we're updating this, you'll be able to come over here and filter by anything: career building, goal setting, manhood, money tips, mental health, debt freedom, wealth building, legacy, and relationships, right? So let's just say right now you're trying to wealth build. So you'll be able to click wealth building and you'll see all of my articles that I have when it comes to wealth building. Let's say you're trying to get out of debt. You come over here to debt freedom, you'll see everything that we're building on this. And so what I really love about this is we're updating this every Tuesday and Thursday. We're dropping brand new articles. And let's go to this one right here. So what you need to know about Biden's forgiveness plan. If you currently have student loans, as a matter of fact, Michelle, if you're listening, go ahead and do a, I want you to do a, go ahead and do a poll of how many people currently have student loans from me, Michelle. Go ahead and drop that in a thing for me. I want to see how many people have student loans. Now, as you all know, that President Joe Biden came out with this plan, this thing called the SAVE plan. Essentially, it is an income-driven repayment plan that allows those who are making a lower income to have a reduced monthly payment for the student loans. It was rolled out by the Biden administration in August of 2023 in order to build upon Biden's belief that education beyond high school should unlock doors to opportunities, not leave borrowers stranded with debt they cannot afford. Here's my thing. I respect President Biden. I respect any president that's trying to help us out when it comes to our student loan thing. I wrote the book on debt-free degree when I was with Ramsey Solutions, an amazing organization over there. And here's my philosophy, and I still believe this to today. If we're going to fix the student loan thing, we need to limit how much people can borrow. It makes no sense that an 18-year-old cannot go buy a drink, but they can go sign for a $50,000 loan. Let me say it one more time. It makes no sense to me that an 18-year-old is not licensed to get a beer. They're not licensed to get a shot, but they're licensed to go sign for $50,000. They're licensed and they are okay to go get a $100,000 loan. And then now this loan is sticking with them for 28 to sometimes even up to 42 years. So the thing that we're trying to protect them from, which I get it, if we don't want them drinking and driving, I totally understand it. I'm with that. Thank you for that. But we also need to put a limit and a cap on how much they can get up front. Now, I'm all for no student loans. That's what I'm for. But if we're really going to fix the student loan problem that we're having, then we need to limit each student on how much they can borrow. And so while I'm all for the SAVE plan, because we got to do something, but White House, please hear me. And I said this on the call. What are we doing up front? We need to talk about how much can they borrow, and then we need to talk to these colleges about how much they're charging, because colleges has become a business opportunity. It's not really an education opportunity. And I get it. We got to make money so we can pay the professors, or we can pay, the IT behind all this stuff. I get it. We got to make money in that area. But y'all, it makes no sense that our college students are graduating with about $40,000 in student loan debt. It's costing you about $100,000 to get a full college experience. I mean, that's if you're doing loans. That's not loans. That's tuition, room and board, food, the whole college experience, right? For a 4-year degree. We've really watch this. We've really got to look at what we're doing up front. So let's talk about the SAVE plan. All right. So here are the few goals of the SAVE plan. And if you really want more of this information, just go over to AnthonyONeal.com. Go to the article and you can really see all of this in detail. And on the article, you will be able to see, as a matter of fact, Michelle, go ahead and drop this link in today's show notes and drop it in the chat so people can go back and see it, because I'm gonna go through this real quickly. All right. And so here are a couple of things with the Save plan. It's not really to eliminate your debt. It's to help you make lower payments that are affordable for your everyday living. So the very first thing is to cut payments in half for those with undergraduate loans. Borrowers with an undergraduate degree can have their payments reduced to 5% of their disposable income. So when it comes to the Save plan, your disposable income is going to be anything after your housing, transportation, food, utilities, your mandatory bills. So anything you have left over after your mandatory bills, that's what they qualify as disposable income. So let's just say, for an example, you have, let's say you have $1,000 of disposable income at the end of the month, right? Times that by 5%. That means your payments will be about $50, but you have to apply for the Save program. A lot of you all have not applied for the Save program. Put in the chat right now if you applied for the Save program. If you currently have student loans currently, put in the chat how many of you all have actually applied for the Save program. Now listen, so your payments go down to $50. Your payments go down to 5% of your disposable income, but your payment, your balance is still there. So they're not wiping out your debt. They're not getting rid of your debt. They're just making it more manageable. And I don't want my debt manageable. I want my debt gone. And so, yes, go ahead and get your payments down to an affordable place for you. But the strategy on how to get out of debt doesn't change. The strategy of using the debt snowball does not change. OK, now some of the goals is too as well to not only just bring them down to 5%. Here's another one. Bring loan payments for $0 per month for some. The monthly payment amount for the Save plan is based on the difference between the borrower's adjusted gross income and a poverty guideline amount that the family size put in place by the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services. All right. So this pretty much simply means that if you are in the poverty line between single poverty or family poverty, they're going to bring your loan payments to $0. Now, your balance is still going to be there. But your payments, because you're below the poverty line, will be $0. Still, the strategy doesn't change. If you're below poverty, the strategy is this. How do I start getting more income? How do I start, getting more income? Not so I can pay back my loans, but I can have a life of freedom. OK, now here's another one. Early forgiveness with low balance loans. The Save plan allows borrowers to see forgiveness in less time. OK, for those that have $12,000 or less, will have their loan forgiven after 120 qualified payments. Payments made before 2024 count towards these qualified payments. So let's go ahead and cover this, because this is the thing that he just announced last week. All right. Under the original Save plan, there was a caveat that would allow for faster forgiveness with low balance loans in as little as 10 years. This caveat was set to go in effect later this summer, but is now scheduled to roll out next month in February. In the Biden administration, they said that the shorter time to forgiveness benefit will particularly help borrowers who attended community colleges. These students typically borrow a smaller amount of money. So if you borrowed $11,599.99 and you've made 10 years of consecutive payments, your loans are forgiven. You don't have to do nothing about it. You got to be inside the Save program. But if you've made these payments on time, you haven't been late, you've made them consecutively, you've borrowed $11,999.99, loans are forgiven. Watch this. Let's say you borrowed $12,000 or less, and because of interest, you now owe $17,000. $17,000 is gone. But you had to make sure that you made consecutive payments. If you miss one payment, you won't qualify. You got to make them consecutively on time and not be late. Now, listen, here's Here is the thing that I really, really, really want to cover, and I really want to talk about. I'm not a fan of counseling student loans. Here's why. Nothing is free in America. This is coming from our taxes. This is coming from someone's pocket. And while this is an option, I'm advising everyone to go sign up for the Save Plan. Take advantage of this option. Take advantage of this opportunity. But the strategy doesn't change. Hear me clearly. The strategy does not change. So if you get your payments at $50, $100, $200, whatever that is, the strategy does not change. I want you to get your loan payments. And if you can get them forgiven, hey, get them forgiven. But if you borrowed $20,000, $30,000, $50,000, like the majority of people, unfortunately, this doesn't benefit you. Now, Save will benefit you to get your payments at a manageable perspective. But at the end of the day, the strategy doesn't change. And if you are, Jay, I don't know if we have this one. If we don't, it's cool. But do we have, Jay, the ad, the screen for pay off your debt? Do we have that? Do we have one for that? Yes. Put that up on the screen from there, Jay. If you're trying to eliminate your debt, I wrote a free 30-page ebook. It is the ultimate guide to debt payoff. It is the ultimate guide on how to pay off your debt. All you got to do is go to ONeal.com. You see it right there on the website. We actually need to make that link a little bit lower. Alex and Michelle, we need to do the ONeal.com, like debt payoff or something like that. But you all can go right there. Michelle, put that in today's show notes so they can click on it. This is the strategy on how you can start eliminating your debt. You can start eliminating your debt. 77% of you all said that you currently have student loans. If you're bold enough, and if you can participate with me, if you currently have student loans, put in the comments how much do you have? How much do you have left on your student loans? Put in the comments for me. Let me see that in the comments real quick. All right. And while we are waiting on people to put those in the comments, do not forget that here in about 20 minutes, I'm going to accept your call-ins. You can go to anthonyoneal.com/call-AO. You do need to have your camera on so I can see your face, because I would love to see who I'm talking to, who I'm helping and guiding. You can call and ask anything from money questions, my thoughts on this perspective. I really want to help you in the areas of increasing in wealth, increasing in freedom, and increasing in your wellness. But what I'm seeing here, we are seeing, Mr. Noray El Bougie got $230,000 in student loans. Mrs. Noray, and put in the comments, man, what is that? $230,000 in student loans? Are you a doctor? Brendan has $57,000. Wow. We're seeing $80,000, $120,000, $180,000. $120,000 in student loans. $60,000 in student loans. The Get Money show with Gwen got $165,000. Let me ask y'all this question. If you could do it all over again, be real with me, okay? Be real with your boy. If you can do it all over again, would you take out student loans again? Yes or no? Put yes or no in a comment. If you can go back and start all the way over from what you know now, would you go to the same school? Would you borrow the same amount of money? Like, really, was it beneficial? Was it beneficial to you? $122,000, Stephanie said. And she got 5 payments left. Let's go. Let's go. Man, I'm seeing people saying, hell no. People saying no. What? That's probably too loud. I'm sorry. I'm sorry, Jay. I'm all in his ear. I'm so sorry. Absolutely freaking not. What in the world? Oh my goodness. Oh my good. And this is why this is important. Let me calm down. And this is why what I do is very, 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 very important. It's because we got to start teaching our kids different routes on how to get into a degree. Because here, let me say this up front. And then we're going to get to the 5 things that's preventing us from building wealth. You guys, how I say this? Education is the most important thing that we can do. I firmly do believe that when we ask for wisdom and knowledge, we got to be seeking wisdom and knowledge every single day. As a matter of fact, Jay, where's the book of the month? You know what I'm talking about? Yeah. Do you know where that is? Bring me that book of the month for this month. Every single day we should be reading. We should be reading something about life. Thank you, Jay. Something about life, something about goals, something about our vision. So we should be reading every single day. We should be expanding our knowledge every single day. So I'm all for going to community colleges. I'm all for going to trade schools. I'm all for going to tech programs. Do we have course careers, Jay? Do you know, do we have something about course careers? We don't have anything for course careers? All right, cool, great. So listen. For an example, trade schools. I'm gonna have Michelle put the link to course careers inside of our show notes. We should have an ad for course careers, but Alex, let's go ahead and get a graphic made for course careers for our next show. For an example, you can get a degree through course careers in 4 weeks. You can get a certificate through course careers in 4 weeks for HR, for tech sales, for graphic designing, but really in the tech world. You see the rising career field that's producing millionaires, that's producing 6-figure heirs is in the tech field. For a $400 investment, say this one more time, for a $400 investment with my discount, without my discount it's $500, but with my discount it's $400. In 4 weeks, you can get your certificate and a job making $80,000 to $120,000 a year, more than the average person in America for a $400 investment. Now watch this. You can go to a 4-year school, put 4 years in, spend $100,000, and you come out making $55,000, $58,000 a year. Why are we doing that? Like, what is the problem? Why are we making these mistakes? Now, watch this. What I'm not saying is, here's what I'm not saying. I'm not saying don't go to school. If you want to be a doctor, a lawyer, you better take your behind to a 4-year university. You better go to school, because I don't want you going to no 4-week course trying to learn how to operate on me. But I do want to expose us. Thank you. Thank you, Jay. Yeah. Thank you. I do want to expose us to different opportunities that's producing millionaires. And so I partnered with this amazing organization, tech school, called Course Careers. You can start your career today by going to AnthonyONeal.com/tech sales. And for $400 investment in 4 weeks, you could be making 6 figures. So education for me is important, but we got to step back and start analyzing what's the best route for me. Is it me going to a 4-year university? Is it me going to a community college? Is it me going to a tech school? Is it me going to a trade school? Or watch this. Is it me going to YouTube University? What is the best route for you? And when we're talking about educating, I want to remind y'all that this is the book of the month. It's goals. It's in today's show notes. I want you to click it, because if you're not reading, if you're not expanding your knowledge, if you're not expanding your wisdom, you're not doing anything. We're sitting here going to school and waiting for the White House to wipe out our student loans. Man, I knew for a fact that the Republican Party was not going to allow this thing to happen. One, because it would be super expensive, and who in the heck was going to pay for it, right? 2, here's my thoughts, right? Some of us are looking for the lazy way out. You signed for it. How would you feel if I come to you and I say, hey, who's on here? Hey, Bria. Hey, Miss Rivers. Can I borrow $100,000 from you so I can go better my life? and I'll pay you back 5% interest. And then 5 years later, I'm trying to get it all forgiven. How would you feel if someone did you that way? You helped them better off themselves. You didn't force it down their throat. You helped them. How would you feel? And so for me, I'm like, yo, we got to limit that. We got to limit that. So if you want to get a lot more information, because I got to keep on moving, I'm going to take your calls. If you want to get more information on how to get into the SAVE program, more details on the specifics of the SAVE program, go to ONeal.com, click on the articles, read the article. It'll take you 7 minutes. I literally walk you through every single thing on how to do it. How to do it. Let's take advantage of the SAVE program, but the strategy doesn't change on how you are going to pretty much get out of debt. You're still going to work the debt snowball. You're still going to line up all your debt from smallest to largest. You're going to make your minimum payments on every single thing. And you're going to put all your extra debt on the smallest one. And you're going to attack it that way. I also have an article on how to use a debt snowball and why the debt snowball is better than an avalanche way. All right. I'm not gonna get into that today because I want to keep on moving. And then what time is it? I got literally about 5 minutes before I start accepting call-ins. Again, you can call in live, AnthonyONeal.com /call80. Remember, your screen does need to be up. If you have any questions about the SAVE program, about your student loans, about how to pay off your debt, how to invest, what should you do with your taxes, how should you be spending money as a millennial, as a single person? I am here. I want to give you 5 quick things that I believe will help you have a better 2024 year financially. 5 quick things. I want you to write these down. I want you to put the number 1 in the chat. Put this number 1 in the chat. If you want to have a better year financially, you got to stop with your excuses. Okay, you got to stop with your excuses. All right. Stop with your excuses. Stop saying, unfortunately, and I'm going to say this respectfully, Black people, stop saying I'm Black and the system wasn't made for me. The greatest enemy to your success, to our success, is our excuse. What's our excuse? Whatever we say. I'm Black, or, I didn't grow up with 2 parents, or I'm a single mom, or I'm a single dad. I'm not saying none of this stuff is factual. Let's be real. Racism is still relevant in today's day and time. Unfortunately, being a single parent is definitely hard, right? But I don't give room to the enemy. I don't give the enemy all this extra clout. No. I'm going to figure out a way to succeed. I will tell the truth. I will acknowledge the truth. But I have a greater truth, and that is my Lord and Savior, Jesus Christ. The Bible says all things are possible through him. And so if all things are possible through him, I'm not going to give the room or give the enemy room for excuses. I'm not going to do it. So number 1, you got to get rid of your excuses. Put it in the chat. No more excuses in the year 2024. Someone put it in a chat right now. No more excuses. Here's number 2. You got to get rid of financially burdened relationships. Let me say it one more time. Get rid of the relationships that are pulling from you. Get rid of the relationships that are draining you. Get rid of the relationships that are not helping you build wealth. That's not helping you get out of debt. That is not helping you go after your visions, your dreams, your goals. If these relationships are not, watch this, are not benefiting you and holding you accountable, you got to get rid of them. Oh, this is good. That boyfriend you with, sister, that girlfriend you with, brother, you may need to look at and see, are we aligned? Ooh! Are we aligned? I just spilled tea on my face. Are we going the same direction? In this season of me dating, my God, I spilled it all over my face. In this season of me dating, the number 1 thing I'm asking myself is, am I aligned with her vision? It's not really, are you aligned with my vision? Because that's for her to answer. But me, I'm like, okay, can I help you? What are you doing? Where are you going? How can my vision complement your vision and where you're going? You trying to start a business? Can my vision help you get to your business? You're trying to get out of debt? Can my vision help that? You're trying to build wealth? Can my vision help that? Whatever your vision is, I want to know, can Anthony ONeal complement that vision? And if I can't complement that vision, then I got to get rid of that relationship. It's not a bad person. I'm not a bad person. We're just not aligned. Friendships. If we're not aligned, if you're a burden to my peace, if you're a burden to me accomplishing what God has called me to accomplish, I got to go. I got to go. Put in a comment, it's time for you to run. Put in a comment, it's time for you to run. This is the year that we cannot have financially burdened relationships. If we're going to increase in wealth, if we're going to increase in freedom, if we're going to increase in wellness, this is the year that we cannot have. We just can't have financially burdened relationships. We can't. We can't. We cannot do it. Put in the chat, we're running. It's time to run. It's time to run. It's time to run. Here's number 3. Then we got 2 more, and I'll be taking your call-ins. This next one is number 3. If you're going to experience wealth, and I think this is one thing that's preventing us from building wealth, we got to get rid of our consumer debt. Here, January 22nd through the 26th, we are doing Pray FYI. Pray FYI. We'll be praying for your increase. And on day 1, we are praying for debt elimination. We're praying that God will eliminate our debt. And not just eliminate our debt, but eliminate our financial stress, our financial burdens, our financial issues. What we're praying that God will help us eliminate all of this. Consumer debt has to go. Consumer debt is robbing us of our future, is robbing us of our dreams, is robbing us of building wealth, is robbing us from setting up our kids to be wealthy. I'm sick and tired of our kids graduating college and we're having to borrow money. Why are we not giving them a check to pay for college and a check to buy their first house? Why are we not setting up our kids to be prosperous? And why are we not setting up our kids to be wealthy? And it's because a huge part of that is because we're not focusing on eliminating our consumer debt. We're not focused on eliminating our liabilities. And so January 22nd through the 26th, we'll be praying. All you got to do is go to prayfyi.com. That is prayfyi.com. It is 100% free. We're going to be praying Monday through Friday at 12 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Give us 15 minutes. Give yourself 15 minutes each and every single day of the 22nd through the 26th to pray. I ain't selling you nothing. I'm going to help you. I'm going to give you resources, but we are coming together so we can pray for our increase, pray for our kids' increase. But day 1, we're praying that we can get rid of our consumer debt in the year 2024. Put in the comments right now, I'm debt free. Even if you're not debt free, I want you to speak it over your life that I am debt free. Put it in the comments. I'm feeling this one. I'm not trying to be preachy. I'm not trying to be holy right now. But I do believe that if we pray like it all depends on God, and then we work the strategy like it all depends on us, we work the system like it all depends on us, we are going to be debt free. We are going to see an increase in the year of 2024. Somebody put in the comments, I'm debt free. I am debt free. I got 2 more things. Here's number 4. If you really want to experience wealth in the year 2024, You got to stop talking negative to yourself. You got to stop telling yourself what you can't do, why you can't do something, what's stopping you from doing something. Studies are showing that nearly 78 to 80% of people in America are living paycheck to paycheck. Here's what you should be saying. I'm a part of the 20%, 22% of people who are not living paycheck to paycheck. Even if you are living paycheck to paycheck right now, the Bible says that there's power. There's death in life. There's power in what we say, in our tongue. And so when I read a stat, and let's say I am a part of that stat, if the stat is 95% of people are XYZ, well, I'm 5%. Even if I'm not in the 5%, I'm speaking positivity over my life. Now I'm going to acknowledge the truth. Okay, I'm in this stat. Let me get on a system and a strategy and a game plan on how to get out of this stat. But I'm speaking, I'm not in this stat. I'm speaking, I'm in the world, but I'm not of the world. I'm speaking that I am not debt free while I am in debt and I'm working the plan. I'm speaking I am not debt free. While I may not be making $10 million a year right now, I'm speaking that I am making 10 million while I'm working the strategy to get out of this wherever situation that I'm in to get to $10 million. So in the year 2024, you got to start speaking life over your current situation. Start looking at your kids and calling them wealthy kids. Start looking at your situation and saying, I'm not going to be here much longer. I am this. I am that. I will be here. We got to start speaking life over us, life over our families, life over our finances, life over our careers, life over our education, life over yourself. Yeah. I don't know. Let's start right now. Put in the comments. Speak something positive over your life. Even if it's not true right now, I want you to put in your comment section right now. Put in the comment section right now what you're believing for, who you are. If I was a type right now, I'm saying 2024, 2025, I'm making $10 million. I'm not there yet. I'm making $10 million in 2024. That's what I'm saying. Am I there yet? No, I'm not. But I believe I can be. I don't care if you're drowning in debt. Put in the comments what you're going to be by the end of 2024. Put in the comments. If I was also putting something else, I'm going to be married by the end of 2024. I ain't met my wife. I don't know who she is. Well, I don't know if I haven't met her. I might have met her. But I'm going to get my saved, sweet, smart, skilled, and very sexual woman, Lord Jesus. Lord, I just believe it. I'm single. But you know what, y'all? I'm married. I am married. Here is the last thing. If you're going to experience a better year financially in 2024, you got to cut unhealthy spending habits. You have to cut unhealthy spending habits. Unhealthy spending habits. Say it one more time. You got to cut it. You have to cut unhealthy spending habits. Let's be real here at the table. I don't judge anybody. I don't accuse anybody. OnlyFans has become a $1 billion industry. I want to challenge some of you. I want you to go deactivate your OnlyFans page today. I want to say that. Weed, drugs. I want to challenge you to cut out some of these things that you're doing. I want to challenge you to, if you're feeling depressed, if you're feeling discouraged, stop saying you're going window shopping and come home with $500 less in your bank account. I want to challenge you. I remember them days. Anthony ONeal, I'm going to be honest with you. I remember them days. I remember spending money in unnecessary places and wondering, well, where did my money go? I remember those days. I remember going to the strip club and spending my money because, I was lonely, because I didn't have any friends, and I wanted to go out there and I wanted to feel kind of appreciated. And I remember going out there dropping $200 a weekend, $300 a weekend. I remember one of the most I ever dropped was it was thousands of dollars. So I'm not judging anyone. I have no heaven or hell to put you in. I just want to be transparent about where I've been and what I've gone through and the hell that I've put myself through and the unhealthy spending habits that I had. Let's be real here on the channel. Can we be real? Anybody else want to be real with me in the comment section? I've done that. Going in there, just drop money to see girls half naked and shaking their behind. Sure have. And then I wake up the next day and it's time to pay bills. It's time to be a man. And I'm sitting there feeling disgusted with myself because, dang, I pleased my flesh rather than doing the things I needed to do responsibly. Am I the only one who's done that? Am I the only one who's mismanaged their money to please their flesh? Huh. If we're going to be wealthy in 2024, if we're going to be wealthy in 2024, let me say this one more time. If we're going to be wealthy in 2024, if we're going to start the process of building wealth in 2024, the only thing that's between you and building wealth, I like that. I'm going there, Jay, is you. The only thing between building wealth, between you and where you're going, is your excuse. And one of the things that I've done to really help us manage our wealth, to help us really keep track of our wealth, to see what we're doing, to see where we're going, to start creating healthy money habits, I created a tool called the Wealth Builder. You can go to anthonyoneal.com/wealth builder. We're going to put it up here on the screen. We'll let it stay here for a little bit. This tool is probably one of the most important tools I've ever made. It's a $20 tool, I'm going to be honest with you, because I put a lot of thought into this. This is the tool I've been using like the last 2.5 years, I want to be honest with you. And before I put it out there, I wanted to make sure that I like it. But this is a tool that I use every single day to track my investments, to track my overall wealth, right? This is what I use to track my overall wealth. And we don't know how much wealth we have until we honestly sit down and track it. Gloria, thank you for the love and the offering. Thank you for the super chat. Thank you, ma'am. And so if you really want to be a part of this, if you really want to start taking control of your finances in 2024, instead of you buying coffee for the next 2 days, instead of you going out to eat for the next 2 days, instead of you going out and going out to a dinner, hey, invest into yourself. Get this Wealth Builder tool. My team and I literally have built this tool. When you buy it, we don't leave you stranded. We send you videos on how to work it. We send you emails every single day for the next 30 days on how to work this Wealth Builder tool. We break it down because you can't track what you don't manage. You can't track your wealth. You can't see where you're going if you do not sit down and manage what you're doing. In the year 2024, it is time to build wealth. And so you can go ahead and get that tool. I promise you, you will love it, you guys. You will love it. You will love it. It's that time, you guys. I've been teaching a little bit too long. I'm ready to take your calls. We already have one person lined up and ready to go. You can call in live. You can go to AnthonyONeal.com. That is AnthonyONeal.com/call AO. Again, that is AnthonyONeal.com/call AO. Now, when you call in, please make sure your camera is on. If your camera is off, unfortunately, don't take it personally. I'm going to have Jay, well, Jay is already assigned to go ahead and decline anyone who's not willing to have the cameras on. We just want to make sure that we can keep the trolls away, keep the haters away who want to come over here and just say something stupid and crazy. That's just not how I roll over here, because I really want to make sure I'm helping you. So you can come on and ask me any questions, any concerns that you may have. We're going to have an honest conversation. I'm going to give you the best help that I possibly can. There's no judging here. I'm not condemning nobody, but I am going to keep it real with you. I am going to say exactly, what's on my mind, what's on my heart. And if I don't have the answer, I'm going to tell you I do not have the answer. And so again, if we could put that information in today's show notes, as far as in AnthonyONeal.com/call AO. Now, when you come up, please keep your question to a minimum of about 1 minute. I will ask you some questions. I'm getting my iPad ready so that way I can take down notes, and let me go to my notepad here and we could do it. And so I'm excited about this, man. I am excited about it. Thank you. And so our very first caller we're going to bring up Tim. I think his name is Tim. This is my brother right here, man.
What's going on? What's going on, Anthony? How's it going? Can you hear me? Hello, can you hear me? Can you hear me? I can't hear you. Nope, I don't hear you.
I heard him.
Okay, now I hear you. I hear you now.
Okay, you hear me now. All right, man.
Hey, you went out again.
What happened?
It's going in and out. I don't know what it is, but
I have no idea what's going on.
I could read your lips.
Man, what happened?
All right, we good now.
Okay, cool, great. All right, this is weird. We ain't doing nothing.
I know, right? So how's it going today? Great conversation you're having today.
Man, thank you so much, man. It's going good, brother. I appreciate you for calling in and making it good, man. It's always good to see you, man.
So I just wanted to have a conversation about, the student loan conversation, because I think it's great every time that we get a solution to help people get further in their financial journey. But I also think that we have to consider, that, like you stated, it comes at a cost. And one of the things I just wanted to leave the audience with is two things, if you don't mind.
Sure thing.
One is that we also have to remember that cost may not affect us up front, because I personally don't believe that they should implement things to pay off people's student loan debt. But the reason why is because you have to know, especially if you have kids, you may not pay for it now, but the next generation will. And we have to remember that, just like when COVID happened, we all got free money, things like that. People got money. Everybody was booming. Everything was going great. But the thing we have to remember is, we paid for it last year. So every time we get something for free, it's not truly free. There's no such thing as free lunch. Somebody has to pay for it. So that's one. I think people really need to just sit down and identify where you at, where you want to go. And then the second thing is, just to add to the Biden administration, just want to inform people that this year started the Secure Act 2.0, where if you do have student loans and you start paying on your student loans, that payment, if your employer is part of that program, then they can actually take that payment that you was paying on your student loan and use that as a contribution to your retirement plan. So we want to make sure that we take advantage of all the different tools to help us build our toolbox so we can build our financial journey. And then the last thing that I say is I just want people to know that when it comes to finances, you got to be. It's two things. B, you got to believe that your finances could get better. So how do you do that? You got to sit down, identify where you at, and then you got to put strategy in place, and then you have to execute on the information that Anthony is sharing today. Because the biggest challenge most of us have is we sit and we look at other people, but we don't believe we supposed to have also. And we have to sit back and identify that we can have it too. But now once we gather the information like Anthony shared today, we now got to execute and not sit back and try to find all the problems, the loopholes that don't apply to me. Well, this person told me this, and then we never execute on the information, or we say we're going to get to it someday, but that someday never come. So that's kind of all I have there, Anthony.
Now, I love that, Tim. Now, let me ask you this question, Tim. I'm curious. What do you think is the ultimate fix? How do we fix this situation, the student loan situation we have?
Well, I think it's two things. I think the first thing is we have to identify that the college system needs to be revamped. So a lot of the unmarketable degrees need to go away. I think that's one. I think the next thing is when we talk about student loans, I think people we got to get off of the going to college and planning our future when we don't really have a strategy. Because we end up paying for it later because we get degrees and we get student loans that not necessarily beneficial for the individual. And I think people need to utilize community colleges a little bit more.
Absolutely.
I think we got to get out of the going because that's what everybody else is doing, or going because it's a HBCU, or going because of all these different things. And you got to go where the money flow.
Yeah.
So you can come out with the least amount of overhead possible.
Yeah.
And then I think it goes back to what you shared earlier is we have to make sure that we going in career fields, or we're taking advantage of career fields that's going to pay us the money. And we have to now get out of the mindset of just always chasing passion and understand that passion could come later after we build out the financial foundation first.
No, Tim, you talking so good. I think passion could be expensive if we don't do it strategically. Passion, I'm saying one more time. Passion could be expensive if we do not pursue it strategically. Meaning that how do we step back and say, you know what is the best vehicle to get me to where I want to go? I want a Rolls Royce. I want a Bentley. But right now, it's going to be that Honda Civic that's going to get me to where I want to go. Now, once I get in that Honda Civic, it's low maintenance, it's low cost, it won't require a lot, but I do not take my eyesight off of the Rolls Royce. I want to be a doctor. I want to be a lawyer. I'm going to start off at a community college, because 2 years in community college in New York, you can go there for free if you got a good GPA. You get 2 years for free. Then you transfer to an in-state, you're spending maybe about 30 grand for tuition. Now your whole experience went from 100,000 to about 30,000, depending on the state and the school that you go to. Now it's like, listen, we're getting the strategy. See what I'm saying, y'all? I'm feeling good, man. Tim, you're getting me started. Like, we gotta look at the strategy first. I've always had my eyesight on the Bentley, Tim. I've always said I'm going to get the Bentley. But I drove an Acura TL for 10 years. But I never stopped looking at the Bentley. I never stopped and said, hey, no, I said, what is the strategy? I'm going to drive this Acura until the wheels fall off. And I didn't drive it till the wheels fall off. I sold it because I got to a certain level to where I could upgrade the car. And so what Tim is telling y'all, man, listen, this is good. Some of us say, but I want to follow my passion. I want to do what I love. Cool. I want you to do what you love. But at what cost? At what expense? Sit down and write the strategy to get to where you want to go. And maybe you're working a job that you do not love, but it is a great job to get you to what you love. Right. Maybe you want to go to Harvard to go to law school. I'm not going to go there. But maybe you need to start your behind off at a community college, and you need to work your way up to Harvard if you can get there. But don't get it confused, y'all. Harvard doesn't make you. You make Harvard. Harvard doesn't make you a better lawyer. You make Harvard. You make it. I've never walked into my doctor's office, and Tim, we're gonna get to the next call, man. I appreciate you, brother. I appreciate you coming up. I've never walked into my doctor's office. Hold off before we get to the next call, because I want someone to hear this. I've never walked into my doctor's office and said, "Where did you go to school?" I've never walked into my lawyer's office and said, "Where did you go to school?" I've never walked into my dentist's office, and I gotta go to my dentist here soon, and said, "Where did you go to school?" Because I already know they've met the qualifications. I do want to see how many cases did they win. I do want to see how many surgeries have you performed before me. Successful surgeries. How many cases have you won successfully? How many teeth have you pulled without hurting somebody? I do want to see the experience. But I really don't care if you start off at a community college, went to an in-state school, and got your law degree from a non-popular law school. From a non-big name law school. I don't care about no Harvard. You can go to Harvard. You can go to Yale. You can go to Princeton. You can go to Duke. You can go to Fayetteville State University. You can go to Maryland. I don't care where you've been. Do you have the education? And what have you done with the education to become the best in the field? My God, my God, my God. I'm feeling that one. I'm feeling that one. I'm feeling it. And so listen. Education is important. And we're going to get to our next call. Education is important. But at what cost? Okay? At what cost is education to you? Listen, we get into our next caller. If you want to call in, if you have any questions, we're going to be here for another, I'll say about 30 minutes, about another 30 minutes. You can go to anthonyoneal.com/call-AO. That is anthonyoneal.com/call-AO. And I'd love to call you. You can call and ask us anything about money questions, and we got you, and we'll go from there. But who we got next, Jay? Jasmine? Yeah. It's Jasmine. How you doing, Mel?
Hi, hello. Thank you for taking my call today. So, I have a question about debt reduction.
Okay.
So, I really don't like debt very much. We did get into some debt for some real estate courses and things like that. So, but we didn't quite make the money as quickly as we hoped to pay off that debt. So, I took some money out of my retirement account so that I could put on to this debt. And but I haven't paid it on to the loan yet, and I was wondering if it will be better to continue with my original plan of putting the money on the debt, or should I use that money to put on an investment property that could then pay the monthly payment for the debt. And I don't know if numbers would be helpful or not.
Yeah,
But
let's talk about this, Jasmine. You gave me a small heart attack, my friend. You gave me a small little heart attack. Boy, I about almost passed out, Lord Jesus. But let's talk about it. Let's talk about it, my sister. Jasmine, how much debt do you have with those real estate courses?
okay, so it's about 40K.
Okay, $40,000. All right, cool. Is that your only debt? Just that 40,000 in real estate? So like cars just paid off, everything like that?
Oh yeah, the car's paid off. We do have a mortgage.
Okay, cool. No, I'm not worried about
And
that.
then we have um some credit card
Okay.
debt
Okay.
that we're paying off kind of aggressively because that's a higher interest.
Yeah. Okay. I got you. So,
It's a
how
lower.
much credit card
Oh,
debt do you have?
okay. So in the credit card debt, we have about 13. It's 13K, but it's zero interest. Okay. So with this program, they like. Anyway, we won't get into that, but
Okay.
so there's a 13,000 in credit card debt, but it's zero interest because it's still in that first 12 months or
For sure.
whatever.
Okay.
And then we have 40K in a best egg loan that has an interest of about, I think it's about 8%.
8%. All right, cool. So we got
Yes.
$53,000 total consumer debt.
Yes.
So 40,000, that's in your real estate courses, and then $13,000 in credit cards.
Yes.
All right, cool, great. How much did you take out from your retirement?
$20K.
Oh, Lord Jesus, Jasmine. Okay, cool, great. So we got $20K you took out of your retirement.
Mm-hmm.
Household income with you and your husband. Ballpark.
200, about 300 between the two of us.
Okay. All
Okay,
right.
260, 270. Sorry, that's what my husband said. He give me.
What up,
About
husband?
260,
What up, bro, bro?
270.
All right, so we had 270,000. We want to estimate 270K as household income, right?
Mm-hmm.
All right, cool, great. And so you want to know pretty much between you and your husband, should you take that $20,000 and put it towards your $53,000 of debt, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So let's be real here. For you to get that $20,000 out of your retirement, you had to take out more than $20,000, right? Because you had to pay
Well, no,
penalties and stuff, right?
I just took out the 20K, and they gave me the 20K. I didn't have them take out taxes or anything from that
Okay.
because usually.
Oh no, Jasmine. We lost Jasmine. It was getting good. Oh no.
Taxes or anything.
We're losing her. Bring her back. Bring her back up. Bring her back. Okay. Okay. All right. Cool. So this is going to be my suggestion, right? With the income of 270,000, Jasmine, you and your husband don't need to take out nothing from your retirement. I totally get that. You know, you all don't want the debt. I'm right there with you, and you all want to aggressively get it going. But what I don't want you to do is to rob from your future. $20,000 less from your future. That's $20,000 less of compound interest that you could be gaining on your future with that compound interest. So if I'm you, I am keeping that inside of my investments. I'm gonna go ahead and just put it right back in my investment. And then at 270,000, if you all are aggressive with that working the debt snowball, which I know you say you're working the avalanche method, I would work the snowball method, get rid of that $13,000 because I get it. You have a year of free interest, but I would get rid of that 13,000 as aggressively go after the 40,000 that has an 8% interest. At a $270,000 income with a combined income with the child out here in the back, and you guys are a homeowner, you all should be seeing about $200,000 a year, which is going to put you at about in between $15,000 to $20,000 a month. Y'all could aggressively, if you really come down and sit down with a plan, I feel as if y'all could be completely debt free this year. It's going to be aggressive, right? But two things is now you're doing. You're putting the $20,000 back, you're growing on that compound interest, and you're attacking the $53,000 in debt. Now, I'm going to say do the debt snowball method. I get it. I understand the math makes sense to you on your end. Well, the $13,000 on the credit card is sitting there because it has no interest. So let's go ahead and aggressively tap the $40,000 because we're getting 8%. But in 2 months, y'all can pay that off. I don't know what else you may have requirements with your income, but with about a $15,000 to $30,000, $15,000 to $20,000 income with the mortgage, et cetera, within 2 to 3 months, you can have the credit card paid off, and then you're attacking the $40,000. This year, you're 100% debt free. If I'm in your shoes, that's what I'm doing. I want my money working for me, right? I'm gonna keep that $20,000 and keep investing into that to the 401k. I'm going to get rid of the debt, and I'm going to come up with a strategy. You and your husband come up with a strategy and look at y'all's money and figure out how can you attack the $50,000. Because what you just did is, let's say for an example, let me show you what you just did, actually, as a matter of fact. Where's my thing at? Let me just show you. I just want you to show you. I just want to show you because I don't want you to think I'm making this up. Let me pull up my computer here real quick and go over here. Did that thing work? Jay, let me know if it worked. Maybe it didn't. But I want to show you how much money you just possibly missed out on. Is it coming up, Jay? It's not. And then, okay, cool. Did we lose her? We lost her? Okay, cool. Dang, that sucks, man. Here's my thing, Jasmine, if you're still watching, right? Let me see how this thing's gonna work. Let me see if this will work. Oh man, it's not working. Okay, there it is. There it is. There it is. There it is. Go over to my website, man. I want to show you all, right, what Jasmine and her husband are potentially missing out on. So when you pull out money from your 401k, I want to show you all the potential of what's happening. And I do not. I want y'all to understand why I am not a fan of you taking out $20,000. All right. So $20,000 is a lot of money. So let's just say Jasmine, she looks very young. So let's say she's 30. Let's just say Jasmine and her husband are in their 30s. And let's say they plan to retire at 65, right? Again, if you go to ONeal.com, come over here to the wealth tool, you can use this tool. All right. So say 65. And let's just say they only have that $20,000 inside of the investment. And let's just say on the worst case scenario, we got 8%. Now we saw that last year we got 23% on the return on the S&P 500. It was like 24%, right? There was only 9 years within the last 40 years that was negative. So we're averaging anywhere between 8 to 12% of a return. But let's just say on the low end, go back to the screen there, Jay. Let's say on the low end, we get 8%. And let's just say that she is contributing. Let's just say she puts nothing in there, right? Let's just say she puts nothing else in there. I just want y'all to see what she's missing out on. Jasmine, if you're still watching, what you're missing out on with the $20,000, right? This is how much money she's missing out on. When she took out the $20,000, over the next 30 something years of the $20,000 just sitting in her account, she's missing out on $305,000. $305,000 just because we took out $20,000 to pay off $53,000. Do you all see the math here? I'm not making this up. Let's say it's an 8% return. She's 30 right now. Okay, she could be older, she could be younger. But we can change the math. Let's say she's in her 40s. She's definitely not in her 40s. She looks very young. You know what I'm saying? She looks amazing, right? But let's say she was in her 40 and she wanted to retire at 65. She's missing out on $126,000 of free money to pay off $53,000. This is why I say do not rob from your future to pay off debt. No, do not do it, you guys. I'm begging you. Do not do it. Don't do it. Because you're losing money. Let's look at the math. You're going to miss out on, let's say worst case scenario, she is in her 40s, which I think she's in her 30s. So let's go there. Oh, she's back. Is she back? Okay, she's back. There go Jazz. Bring it back up. Bring it back up. There go my sister. Yeah. So did you see that? Did you see the math I just showed you?
I did. I did see that. So I don't know if I still have to pay penalties if I put the money back, but I'll call them.
Call them and see, because how long has it been out?
Less than a week. About less than a week.
I don't know. That's something I do not know because I've never had to do it. And so I will call them, Jasmine, and see if you can put it back. If you cannot, if they say no, you cannot put it back, then go ahead and put it towards that debt, because now you want to be wise with what you can do, right? Okay. But do not take any more money from that, because unfortunately, worst case scenario, and I don't want to ask you your age, and have you feel uncomfortable. But it's like, I think you're in your 30s, young 30s. And if that's the case, and retiring at our age, right at 67 and a half, 65, that's almost $300,000 we've lost out on. And then just think about it. It's actually a little bit more than that, because that's compounding. So that's money going on is compounding and compounding. That could be anywhere between $500,000 to $600,000 by the time you and your husband get to that age where you all are ready to experience true freedom that we missed out on to pay off $40,000. But here's what I do want to say, Jasmine. I appreciate your grind, you and your husband's grind, for like saying, yo, We want financial freedom. So what do we got to do to get this freedom, right? And so I love that, and I'm celebrating you all for that. So listen, you guys, hopefully it makes sense. Hopefully it makes sense for what I just said. If it doesn't make sense, let me know in the chat. Let me know in the comments. If you have any questions, if you have any concerns, if you just want to come up and just have a conversation, go to AnthonyONeal.com/call-AO. That is it. That again is AnthonyONeal.com/call-AO. And I do want to say this: if you're driving in your car, pull over when you have a good signal, so that way we don't lose you. If you're at your job, hey, go to a good spot, get on a good Wi-Fi so we do not lose you. That is a downfall about having people, call in and show their facial expressions, because we do want to make sure that we can see you. I just want to see who I'm talking to. And so, Jasmine, love you and your family. Thank you for calling in so much. Absolutely. You're making good money. The average household income in America is right around $80,000-$90,000. So they are excelling as a black couple. Who do we got next coming up, Jay? Do we have anyone coming up next? We're going to have to do Andrea. Okay, for sure. Andrea, what's going on? Let me see if I can hear you.
Let's see. Can you hear me?
I can hear you. I like your braids. Okay, is that braids?
They're twist.
Oh, they're twists? Okay, I had to ask that question.
Okay. I'm trying to get my photo back here. This is my statement God provides.
There you go.
It's all there. Question for you. I am on the track to be Dave Ramsey coach. I, however, disagree. Well, I don't disagree. I have trouble. I'm a single mom, 3 kids, income. Oh Lord, what is my income? I have some investments plus job. Around about 340 a year income.
340,000?
Yes.
And you say you're a single mama?
Yes, I am.
Come on now. Yes, ma'am. Okay.
So my issue is with my financial advisor. I love him, but he, of course, per the Dave Ramsey program, is advising that I pay off student loans first. My student loans are $134,000. I have my house. I owed $79,000 on it. I recently finished a contract that gave me about $93,000 for the end of the contract. I want to pay off my house.
Mm-hmm.
He is strongly advising that I use it toward the student loan payment. My issue with this is that I will not pay off my student loans. And again, if something happens to me, I would like for my home to be paid off for my kids. Can you help me work through this?
Help me understand your philosophy on why you do not want to pay off your student loans.
I do want to pay them off. I only want to pay them off after I pay off my house. And that's, again, because if something happens to me, I don't want the hassle of either insurance or any money having to then go pay off the house, make sure my kids are secure. In my mind, my kids are good if I have a paid off house. As I told my advisor, if something happens to me, that paid off student loan is not going to help my children at all.
How much is your house worth?
About $330,000.
330,000. And you owe 79,000.
Correct.
Okay. And you feel, I'm just want to make sure I'm correct. Your concern is if something was to happen to you as a single mother, that having a paid for home is a better situation than, right, than having no debt.
Correct.
Cool. You're a great mother. Let me just start there.
Thank you.
I mean, let's be real here. Come on, put that in the comment section, y'all. Put that in the chat. Give her some love for being a great mother, because I think that most great mothers will think the way that you're thinking, right?
Absolutely.
They would think, okay, what's the best thing? Well, not just great mothers. I think any great parent would be like, hey, what's the best thing for my child? While I believe that is a great statement, I also believe that is a statement that also hinders us sometimes from building wealth.
Yes.
Right? And so I think right now, here's the thing. As wise as you seem, you already have life insurance, correct?
I do.
Correct. Cool. Great. As wise, this is the only debt that you have, your $134,000 in student loans?
I have some properties there that on the business side. I have about $38,000 that I own a home that I'm renting out, but that would be taken care of through the business insurance and home insurance.
Yeah, I'm not concerned about that. I'm only concerned about consumer debt. I'm not concerned about the real estate, right? And so I think
These are the last two items I have to pay off. And again, I do expect both to be paid off within the next year. So I get it. It's not an urgent need, but for me, that's what I struggle with. I am pro Dave Ramsey. I'm pro Anthony ONeal, but I'm like, okay, for me, just to have that security as a mom, I feel like a lot of other Black women and single moms, single dads, single parents would be in my boat as well. It's like, because I've seen the probate process. I've seen how long it takes, how crazy it is when others get involved. Again, I plan on being around a long time, but however, I'm not leaving anything to chance when it comes to my kids.
I wouldn't worry about probate. I wouldn't worry about none of that, because for you, if you haven't done this yet, I would highly recommend that you just get a trust put into place, an estate plan. If you have a solid estate plan,
I need to do that. Okay.
yeah, there you go. So, and this is why I'm trying to be very sensitive with this, because I hear your heart. Like I hear what you're trying to do. It's like, hey, I'm a single Black successful mother who wants to make sure that my Black children are successful and taken care of, not matter of if, when something happens to me. And so I want to honor that, because that is a great place for a mother to be. But there are things that you can put into place to make sure that your kids are taken care of no matter what. And that is an estate plan. And everyone should be looking into this. And so, Andrea, am I saying your name right, Andrea?
That's correct.
Okay, so Andrea, what I want you to do, I'm going to sit with your financial advisor, the Ramsey Pro, right? I'm going to advise you to take care of your student loans first. Don't worry about your debt. Follow me here, though. But while you're taking care of your student loans, I want to advise you to go get an estate plan taken care of. Someone of your magnitude making $300,000+ a year as a single woman, that's just amazing, right? But you need an estate plan, which inside of that estate plan is going to have your trust, is going to have your will, is going to have your medical, is going to have your power of attorney. That is going to make sure that if something happened to you soon, or when something happens to you, nothing is going to go to probate, because you've legally written down with the state, hey, this is what I want done with my stuff. You're going to be here for the next 30, 40, 50, 60 years. All right. So let's not even speak that into existence. You heard me say this at the very beginning. We're going to speak positive. We're going to speak positive, Andrea. We're going to speak positive. So what I want you to do is get an estate plan. For everyone, you can click the link in the show notes. Go to anthonyoneal.com/ethos, or it's anthonyoneal.com/life insurance. And then if you check them out, if you already have life insurance, Andrea, cool, great. But if you go to Ethos, if you go to anthonyoneal.com/life insurance and click on estate plan, it's like $450. You sit down with an attorney and they put everything in paper. And if someone with your success, you need that. And this is not just for your success, Andrea. This is someone who is a single mother who may be making $40,000, still needs an estate plan to make sure that the state doesn't decide what happens with their kids, that the state doesn't decide what happens with their home. And so I'm pretty sure, you just said you have businesses and real estate. We need to make sure that we have an estate plan for you. So that's what I would recommend. Thank you for being pro Dave Ramsey. Thank you for being pro AO. And I'm sorry that I'm going to be pro your financial advisor and say no.
I just needed to hear it. It's just hard from a mother standpoint. And then last note, sorry to cut you off. Last note, I have about 17 investment properties.
Okay.
About 14 of those have actually come from taxes, which have arisen from family disputes. The grandfather died, the grandmother died. It went into family probate. No one ever handled it. And they argued about who would pay the taxes. That's how I've gotten the majority of my items. And I'm like, that will not happen to my kids. So.
But see, you just said a key thing in there, probate. Thank you so much for saying this, y'all. I hope you all are hearing what Andrea is saying. This is not just for someone of her status financially. This is for everybody. If you're making $30,000 a year to $3 million a year, if you do not have an estate plan, if you do not have a trust that tells the state what you want done with your assets, then yes, the state will decide what happens with your assets, and your family will have to pay to get it out of probate. But if you spend time up front, if you go to anthonyoneal.com/life insurance, and if you get you a life insurance policy, which I only believe in term, and if you get a full estate plan, if you get a life insurance with Ethos, they're going to give you a term life insurance policy with them. They're going to give you a free estate plan for free. But if you already have a policy, like Andre already has one, then you can go ahead and spend $450, sit down with an attorney. They're going to go through every single thing. Within a matter of 30 days, you have an estate. Your family will not be going through probate. But you're right. I've acquired one Ashley property, unfortunately, because of taxes, because of the probate situation. And I don't want that with my family neither, which is why I'm single. I don't have no kids like you. I don't have a wife. I don't have nobody. I just got a mama, a daddy, a sister, a brother, and some nephews and niece. And if something happens to me before I am blessed to be married and have a family, I have a full estate plan that I did last year. And so I definitely want to encourage you to do that. So I need you to promise me one thing, Andrea. Are you going to look into that?
I am. I'm going to do it today. I am co-working right now, but I am going to do it as soon as your podcast ends. Thank you.
I appreciate you, my sister.
Bye-bye.
Yeah, this is what it's about, y'all. This is why I'm doing what I'm doing, you know, for ladies like Andrea, for single mothers. And for those of you all watching right now, every time you all give us some money on YouTube, I forgot what, super chat. Every time you do a super chat, we actually sow that back into single mothers. So every single year we give away close to $15,000 to $20,000 to single mothers. We're buying them lunch sporadically. I'm paying for daycare sporadically. I just find single mothers and single fathers as well to be a blessing. And so if you like something on the YouTube channel, if you agree with something, hey, give us a super chat, because what you're doing is you're supporting our mission. You're supporting the E3 family and community, and giving and donating back to our single mothers. And so before we go into our next caller, don't forget, if you want to call in, if you have any questions, we are getting a lot right now. Give us a call here at anthonyoneal.com/call-AO. Make sure your camera's on. Make sure, you know what I'm saying, you have a beautiful smile. Make sure you got a dope smile, brothers, and give us a call, because I would love to have your questions, have a conversation with you, and hear my heart, you guys. Hear my heart. If you are a single mother or single father or a parent, period, and you do not have an estate plan, I'm not questioning, do you love your kids? But I am side-eyeing you. Because if you can go out there and buy a luxury car, if you got a BMW, Mercedes, if you can go out there and you got the funds to buy a Louis Vuitton purse, a Gucci purse, if you got the funds to go out there on a luxury vacation, but you do not have the funds to spend $450, $500 to get an estate plan to make sure that when something happens to you, I hate to say it like this, but it's the truth. No man knows the hour or day when God is coming back to get you. I don't know. But I would hate to be in heaven. I would hate to be in heaven, and I am happy. I am with my Lord and Savior, Jesus Christ. And my family is down here struggling. My family is down here trying to figure out what to do with my body, what to do with my assets. My family is down here struggling, trying to figure out how to bury me. My family is down here struggling, trying to do a GoFundMe. We should not be doing that, you guys. This is why you need to get a term life insurance policy through my friends at Ethos. I wasn't going to bring them up until Andrea brought them up. You can literally be 35 years old and get a $2 million policy for as cheap as $70 a month with no blood work. You can have a $2 million policy today. Today. You can have your estate plan covering all of your assets, telling the state, telling your family, telling the people what you want done with your children, with your loved ones, with your assets, with your home. You can have that done for free if you got a life insurance with them, or for $500. When God brings me home, my family don't have to worry about nothing. Nothing at all. Everything is inside my safe at the bank. I got cash in there. I got my full estate plan. I have access to every single thing within my house. So that way at the bank, if something happens, my dad takes the power of attorney. He goes over there and he gets the stuff and they take care of my last living wishes. And they don't have to worry about going to court. That is me telling my family that I loved you so much that while I was alive, I was thinking about you after I was gone. I want that to sit right there for a little bit. Because how many of you are not prepared? How many of your kids are going to be struggling because you didn't think about them? You told them you love them. How many of your kids are going to go into the garage and drive a nice car to your funeral? How many of your kids will be able to go into your closet and pull out a nice purse or pull out some nice shoes, but don't know what to do? You need term life insurance, and you also need an estate plan. You also need an estate plan. Go check my friends out. Who we got next, Jay? Who we got next, man? This is good. We got 30 more minutes, you guys. We got 30 more minutes. So if you want to call in, bring us on up. We need to get Jay a mic so he can just speak into the mic. We need to get that in the studio, bro, so we can just speak into the mic, man. Who we got next, bro? Devette. Devette. Am I saying it right, sister?
Davette.
Day. Spell it for
Yes.
me. I don't see it on the screen. D-A.
Apostrophe, capital V as in Victor, E-T-T-E.
Okay, so my sister's name is Yvette. You are Devette. Okay,
Davette, yes.
then. What's going on, sis? How can I help you?
I'm good. So I just had a question. I'm finally in a stable office now. I'm a dental hygienist, and I make
Okay, wait a
about
minute. Don't
98.
skip through that, queen. Dental hot. Come on, quit. Let
Correct.
go. All right, let's go. All right, I like this.
So I make about 96 to 98,000 a year now.
Okay.
So this is the most I've ever made, and I've never had a 401k or anything like that. So I don't have anything in regards to that. And my savings, I have about $2,000 to $3,000 so far.
Okay.
I'm 29 and I'm feeling a little bit behind. I feel like I need to have more and save more. I also have student debt, as well as my car loan. So I'm just trying to figure out what I need to allocate towards my high yield savings account, as well as an option for 401k since my office doesn't apply it.
I love it. No, I love this. Let's have this conversation. Talk to me about your total debt right now you have, Devette. How much debt do you currently have right now?
So my car is 30,000, 31,000, and my student loans are 46
Okay.
to 47,000.
All right. So 40.
And my minimum payment is 120 for the student loans.
All right. So we're at a total of $77,000 in consumer debt.
Correct.
All right. Cool. Any credit cards at all?
I have about $1,000, but that'll be paid off at the end of this month. So
Oh, okay. All right. So we got $77,000 in consumer debt. All right. And you're making about 98,000. All right. So give me about a
Yes.
ballpark. Where you live? What state do you live in?
Virginia.
Oh, you're right here,
Richmond.
right around me. We're in Richmond. Okay. Welcome to the DMV. Not welcome to the DMV, but I'm welcome to
In
the
the
DMV.
DMV.
Yeah. You're in the DMV. All right. So you're in Virginia, VA. Cost of living a month. So if you are right now, so if you're at 98,000, I'm just gonna make this easy on you. All right, so 98,000, divide that into 12. So you're seeing gross about $8,100 a month. Is that what you're seeing gross? All right, cool.
Yeah.
All right, and you said that you have in a high yield savings account right now about 2,000 to 3,000.
About 3,000.
Okay, so you have 3,000. All right, so this is what I really want you to do. Okay, you're gonna get on this plan right here. I'm doing the math here. All right, bet. This is what I want you to do. I want you to put $8,100. I want you to put $8,000 inside your high yield savings.
Okay.
That's the first step. At 29 years old, you're not behind, Yvette. Let me say this. At 29 years old, you're not behind. The average black person in America right now is making about $41,000 to $44,000 a year. That's the average black person. That's no matter what age. That's what the average black individual is making. So the fact that you're at $98,000 a year, which I believe that you'll probably hit $100,000. I want you to figure out a way of how you can get an extra $2,000.
I'm getting a raise in April.
There you
It'll
go.
probably be like 109
There you go.
by
See what I'm saying?
April.
So you're going to be at 109. So what I want you to do is put $8,000 inside of a savings account. This is 1 month of your salary, right? Here's why I want you to do that. Because I don't really want you to worry about investing into a 401k right now. I want you to have $8,000 sitting in your savings. And here's why it's important. Nearly 60% of people in America don't even have $1,000 in their savings account. So you're already ahead of them. The moment you put 1 month of your average salary inside of a savings, that gives you some cushion to where if life was to happen, it gives you 30 days to figure out something to do to get your life somewhat back on track, right? So I want you to put 1 month of your salary inside of a savings account. That's going to put you ahead of all your 29-year-old turning 30-year-old black sisters in America. You're going to be off the chain.
Yeah.
Then from
Right
there,
now, my plan is to have like 12 to 13,000 by November.
well, don't worry about that. Watch this. I don't want you to put no more than $8,000 in there because I want you to take, after you get $8,000, I want you to put the rest of that towards your debt. Okay, so I want you to pay off your car. I want you to go ahead and get your car paid off. Now, $31,000, that's an expensive car. What's it about, 2022,
2020 Audi.
Oh, you got your Audi. Okay, then. So listen, I ain't mad at it. I'm not mad at it. I'm not even going to stretch it to the far to say go sell it. Here's what I'm saying. With your kind of income, you're $77,000 in debt. You could be debt free within 2 years. I need you to start eating at home. Yes, I need you to start eating at home. I need you to
exactly what I do.
Get creative, right? Get creative. See what else you could do to maybe make some extra money on the side at home. Maybe you could be coaching other young sisters on how to get to your field. What can you do to make some extra income to put towards?
So currently, I'm selling clothes and like items that I've had or
Sell
things
them.
that I just don't use.
Sell
So
'em.
that's what I've been doing right now. So
Sell them.
I've been making a little bit of money.
There you go, Devat. Here you go. You work this strategy for the next 16 to 24 months. You'll be debt free. You'll be 30, 31 years old. You'll be debt free making, by that time, you should be making at least 110, 115 a year, right? At least. You're in Virginia. A brother gonna find you. He gonna marry you if you ain't already found. You already been found. And then by that time, now you're married, combined income. You all are moving forward in a great way. So that's I really want you to hear me. Now let me give you the extreme. The extreme. Like if you really wanted to move this quickly, I would sell the car. But I'm not going to push you to that. Yeah, I'm not going to push you to that extreme. But if you really want to get through this within the next year, within the next 12 months, I'm selling the car. I'm putting $8,000 inside the savings. I'm selling the car. That brings me down to $46,000. You're making $98,000. On average, how much does it cost you to live? Like, if you just needed to eat, pay rent, get to work, and pay your utilities, how much would it cost you?
Less than $2,000.
Less than two. Are you living with family or something?
I have a roommate.
Oh my! I was about to say, hold up. Well, okay. I'm gonna say that. Where are you living for less than $2,000? My producer was like, "Bro, what's she doing for $2,000, bro? But what the heck?" All right, so cool. So if you're at $2,000, making $8,100 gross, this means you're probably seeing single person about $5,800 to $6,000, depending on how you're filing. So that means you'll have an extra $3,000 a month to put towards this debt. Yeah. So if we got 41,000 or 46,000, right? Divided that into $3,000. If you went to the extreme, you're looking at about 15 months just to pay off, to be debt free. Which is why I'm saying, hey, that's the extreme. Or you can just go ahead and work the debt snowball, get aggressive, and be done within 24 months. I'm not upset with either one, but it really depends on which one that you desire. If it's Anthony ONeal, I'm always going for what's the quickest way for me to get out of debt so that I can get back into building my wealth. Because if you can start investing here earlier on, yo, you're gonna be making that bag, Devette. I'm telling you this right now. So I love it. I want you to call me back. Call me back in 2 months.
24 months.
Yeah. No, not 24 months. Call me back in 2 months. I want to update on you. I want to update on what's going on. And also, we are going to do a DMV meetup to where I'm just going to be just bringing people in and just talking about
love that.
all this type of stuff. It's going to be free. And so you definitely got to drive down to, we're going to be in DC. We're going to do it in DC, which is only about, 3 hours from you?
2.
2? Oh, yeah. So,
Yeah.
Devette, you got to come because we're going to be taking these questions. But thank you so much. I'm
Where will
praying
that
for you.
information be? I definitely want to call back and go to that.
Definitely. Just watch my Instagram. We'll be sending out via emails. We'll send it out to the community to let you all know about the DMV meetup. All right.
Got it. Thank you so much.
No, thank you so much, y'all. This is good. This is why we're here. You know, I love seeing people. I love seeing people who are adamant about getting out of debt, who are adamant about building wealth, and I want to remind you all, right? If you're part of the E3 community, this year, I'm doing something that I think is very, very special, right? We're going somewhere very, very special here in the month of October. Last year, if I'm being transparent, if I'm being honest, and I think I have time for one more question. So I don't know what the call list is, but if you want to call in, give us a call at anthonyoneal.com/call-AO. Again, that is anthonyoneal.com/call-AO. Just give us a call. I can take one or two more questions. I think just one. But this year, in the month of AO, not the month of AO, in the month of October, one of the things that we've really wanted to do is every single year, I want to take a trip with my community. So in the year 2024, we're going to Africa. We are going to Ghana specifically, and we have a few slots left. We're going to be doing a little gathering to where we can talk more. We can answer any of your questions. But it's a $200 deposit to lock in your slot. And then from there, you'll be able to see what you got to pay monthly. But I would love to personally invite you to join us in Ghana. The price is going to be paying for everything. All you got to do is go to anthonyoneal.com/Africa. Again, that is anthonyoneal.com/Africa. We will be closing this here on January 31st because we just want to make sure that we can take our family. And so we are going to be meeting with our Ghana friends and family. We're going to have a meet and greet there, and we're going to be talking about money there. We're going to really dive in and just really talk about wealth freedom and debt elimination and just really having a good time. We're going to party. We're going to have a great time. But we're going to tour Ghana. We're going to really experience this. And I opened this one up not just for the adults, but I really want to start exposing our kids to this type of stuff. If I had kids, I'm bringing the whole family, you know, and so I really want to encourage you to check that out and join us in Ghana here in October. Go to anthonyoneal.com/Africa if you want to join. We'll make sure that it is in today's show notes. But 20 more minutes here live on the show. Man, y'all are really calling in. This is great. This is just absolutely amazing that y'all are calling in. Man, we're doing this every Wednesday at 12 o'clock Eastern Standard Time. And if you're loving today's show, can you hit that thumbs up for us? And if you're not a part of the E3 community, the E3 family, what is the E3 family? You could bring up the next person too, as well, Jay, whenever you can. But what is the E3 family? We are a community that's focused on increasing our wellness, our freedom, and our abundance. We're focused on increasing our wealth. We're focused on increasing our freedom. We're focused on increasing our wellness as a whole. And so I'm super excited about the family. And if you're not a part of that family, can you just hit subscribe? Can you hit subscribe? Can you follow me on Instagram? Can you just be a part of the family? Because I want to make sure that we're growing a community that in the year 2024, we are increasing in this. Our children's children will be wealthy. I think Beyonce said it best. That's a lot of brown kids. That's a lot of brown and black kids on a Forbes wealth list. I don't know about y'all. I want to position my kids to where they could be on the Forbes wealth list before they're even adults. I'm just going to just say that. I'm just going to speak that and say that. But we got a brother. Yes, Lord. We got a brother on the line. Who we got, Jay? Who we got on the line? Keith, what's going on, bro? How you doing, man?
I'm good. Can you guys hear me?
Yes, sir. I can hear you, man. Talk to us. How can I help you today, man?
Hey, man. Really quick. More or less a giving you flowers, man, because one, been following you for a while. Dave Ramsey fan, got the books, and then of course when you branched off, following you as well. So definitely want to give you flowers in regards to that. The want to tell you one thing. The PSLF, for anyone who is doubting that, the paperwork process or things like that. I, being a former teacher, just removed there for about almost 2 years now, is very real. If anyone has thought about applying or getting things started, you wouldn't believe just because of the restrictions and all the red tape you got to go through. I'm telling everybody to apply. Here's what I mean. Personal story. Just recently came about the PSLF last year, and I knew that I filed it once. And with the filing, they removed some of my debt. If you are working in Title I funded schools, I know that's for the state of PA here. If you're in Title I funded school, which is low performing schools, you can get up to, at the time, this was $10,500 for general ed and up to $12,500 for special ed. I, being in special ed, had $12,500 removed from my master's. Got a $30,000 investment for school for my loans. $12,500 was left. From that, I was in a charter school, and being in the charter school, they didn't pick up on the charter schools payment, or basically for some reason they didn't pick up on it. I called back, and they called and said, "Hey, listen, can you call your charter school?" Once I got in contact with the PSLF and all of my loan provider, and they asked me specifically and said, "Hey, if you can get them to verify that you worked there from 2013 to 2016, that's 61 valid payments that we can wipe away clean." Basically, it brings about 118 or 119. So basically, I'm in the process right now. I actually submitted it back in October, and they said it'd take about 90 days. So at the end of January, I should see, and I can report back to you, should see that my master's was now totally wiped clean.
Wow. Yo, I need you to call back in January. Let us know if it happened, because we need case studies. We need to see this because, as you would know, Keith, I think it's pre-COVID, the PSLF program it wasn't working. You know, people were not getting their student loans canceled. And so I wasn't a huge fan of it, because I'm like, wait a minute, they're saying do this and you'll get it canceled. And I think it was less than 1% was actually going through. Now we are hearing testimonies and more stories of how now the program has been dialed in and it is working better. And so I would love for you to call back in and say, hey, AO, it worked, or hey, AO, it didn't work. So we can really start knowing and really start seeing proof that the White House is honoring what they're saying. But in the meantime, though, Keith, I want to ask you this question and we'll let you go get to another caller. Do you believe, in your particular place, do you believe that people, while they're waiting on the student loan possible being canceled, they should still continue to work towards eliminating the debt?
Absolutely. Right now, if you can see my screen, I got so many screens. I've even got one right now where I'm calculating. I don't have a lot of debt, but I got annoying debt that I want to get rid of, because while we are living, I want to live, that so to speak. I want to maximize in putting my money into my savings. I've actually found a dormant account for my IT job that I had years ago. An email dropped in from the provider, and they said, "Hey, log into your account." I'm like, I don't have anything in there. Lo and behold, found about 19, 20K that was just sitting there from investments that when we set up our, as a new employee, you set up your investments and say, okay, the 401k match that you're talking about, And for some reason, money was left when I left the job. And lo and behold, it was still calculated. Now, you can't put more in it, but now I'm trying to figure out what to do with that money so that it's working. Because right now it's dormant and I wanted to start working for me. So what would you suggest I should do with that?
With what specifically?
So it's sitting in an account right now. It's not. It's an investment account, but it's not active. It's just dormant right now.
I would get with a financial advisor and get it invested actively, for sure. That's what I tell everyone. If you have dormant investments, you need to sit down with a financial advisor and get it invested actively, so that way you're getting that active growth. But I would definitely, because the more it's sitting there not active and not growing, it's just a savings account. You're just sitting there and letting it just waste that money. But I would definitely sit down with a financial advisor and get that going, bro.
All right, man. I know I have a lot of questions, but I definitely want to. I just heard you say that there is an event coming in DMV. I'm in the Philly area, so I have no problems coming down. I just need to know when and where.
Yeah. Everyone's asking, man. My team is probably tripping. Like, wait, when are we doing this? It's just going to be a simple meetup that I'm gonna do in our studio. So we have a new studio coming here, probably opening up the first week of next month. And so I'm gonna hold it in my conference room and just gonna have some people come over to where we can just sit down, just have a meet and greet and just talk and just really start helping people. I really want to use our facility to start hosting small, intimate classroom sessions around finances. I'm gonna offer it for free once a month. I'm gonna do it for free, first come, first serve. And we're just gonna have a good time. Come and learn about estate planning, trust planning, investing, real estate. We're going to do it once a month out of that facility. So I'm really excited about that. So we'll definitely keep you informed about that, and we'll go from there. But let me try and get some more questions. All right, appreciate you, man. Hey, y'all. So yeah. For those of you all who are wondering, like, hey, how do we get this information? You got to be a part of the E3 family, right? And you be a part of that by subscribing to the YouTube channel, following me on Instagram, and then also subscribing to our FYI newsletter, because that's where we send out all of our information. One of my goals is that within our new studio that we're opening, that once a month we can house and we can host free seminars to where we'll list them on my website. You can sign up. I think we can fit in that particular room about 30 people. And so you'll sign up for free. It'll be 100% free. Or I don't want to say it's going to be 100% free, but it may be like $5, just so we can guarantee the people are coming and we're not missing out on any seats that we could possibly give away. And then we're going to be teaching on real estate, investing, etc. And we're going to be bringing experts in that specific area. And some of those sessions will be taught by myself. Some of them will be taught by my team. Some of them will be taught by my friends that I'm bringing in to really dive into. So to be a part of that, you got to be subscribed to the family. You got to be a part of E3 family, because I don't want to just make it free for anybody. You got to be connected to me. And that's super, super important to me. So I'm really excited about that. So hit that thumbs up if you're liking this live. And also, give us a follow, give us a subscribe, so that we can be a part of the E3 family. Who we got next, man? We got. It's 1:49. I got 11 minutes. I'm gonna try and get through some. Who? Miss Roslyn. What's going on, Miss Roslyn?
Hello, how are you, AO?
I'm doing good, ma'am. Thank you so much for calling in. How can I help you?
Thank you for having me. I am calling because I was able to save a little over $100,000.
Well, my God. Miss Roslyn, put that phone closer to the center if you can see yourself. So put it center. There you go, right there.
Now?
There you go. Okay, so you got $100,000 in savings. Okay.
Yes. I spent approximately $40,000 doing some additions to my home. The home is now paid off, and it was paid off early.
Okay, then.
Approximately 7 years. I've normally made about $45,000 a year. I have 3 daughters. 2 are an adult, and my youngest one has an ability.
Okay.
So I wanted to find out more about those high yielding savings accounts that you were talking about. I think I have maybe 3 banks is what I'm using right now, and they're in like money markets, but it's still not anything compared to what I could be saving.
Cool. So out of the $100,000 that you had saved, am I Am I hearing this correctly that you, out of that 100,000, you spent $40,000 on home improvement? So this should mean that you should have $60,000 left in your current account, correct?
I've gone up another 5, so I'm about 65 right now.
Okay. All right. Cool. So you're at $65,000.
Hmm.
You are completely consumer and mortgage debt free, right? So you don't have any
That
consumer
is
debt, like no student loans, no
that
credit
is correct.
cards.
No, sir.
Hey man, Rosalind, you are great. Rosalind, may I ask you? Because you seem you're a woman of wisdom. How old are you? If you mind me asking.
I am 55. That's why I was asking you what I should do with the money. How much should I put into high yielding savings accounts?
Okay.
I'm from Columbia, where your
South
father
Carolina.
is, from the Brook, yes.
Oh, you over there with my daddy in
Your
Pastor.
your
Yeah.
father actually stays in the neighborhood with my brother and my sister-in-law, so
Awesome.
they walk with him sometimes throughout the week. But
Man, well look at
I
God.
yeah, yeah,
Tell
and
my
I've
daddy I
seen you
said
at the
hello.
Brook, man. You did it at the Brook. I
Hey,
think you really blessed a lot of individuals. So we haven't joined the Brook as of yet, but I know God is leading us there.
no, I love it.
But
I love
AO
you.
at 55, darling, what can I do?
Now let
Is
me
there
ask you this question.
anything
Miss Rosalind, what do you have anything in investment? So that's
I
65K in
do? But
savings.
Robin Hood more so than anything.
So you don't have anything in 401k?
Nope.
Do you have any IRAs?
Nope.
Okay. Here's what I need you to do, right? Um, if you're debt free
Mm-hmm.
at 55,
Mm-hmm.
liquid to your name, we're guessing you have about $65,000. So here, I want to say this. I want to call this out.
Mm-hmm.
You have $65,000 in wealth, right? Because you have no debt. You have no bondage. So now it's about taking advantage of one, your age and the season of life, because now you can invest more because of your age. Your very first step is I need you to sit down with a financial advisor and start planning. Are you still currently working right now? Or are you not working?
I am.
And is that the $45,000 a year that you're making right now?
That's what I have as the no per month. I'm bringing in maybe 57 a
100?
month, and 55,700 per month. But I don't have anything much to do with it other than just the regular utility bills.
Perfect.
Insurance on, 2 vehicles, but nothing else.
Rosalind, you're in a good place. So this is what I recommend. Out of that $65,000, because of your life right now, I'm thinking you need to put $10,000 inside of I'll say maybe, yeah, I'll put 15,000. I'll put $15,000 inside of a high yielded savings account because you don't have any bills. You just have your regular utility bills, no car note, no nothing. And so $15,000 for an emergency is pretty much all you need. And that's just really giving you some room. From there, I'm taking that $50,000 and I'm sitting down with a financial advisor. The very basic things that you need to be working and looking into right now is an IRA, a good mutual fund. But I would definitely sit down with a financial advisor. What we'll do is, Michelle, if you can, send me a DM. Send me a DM. I'm gonna connect you with our financial advisor. I need to get her information so we can put it on here because she's an amazing lady. I want you to get connected with her like today because right now I would need to look at your whole portfolio and tell you what to do. But I think if you sit down with a financial advisor, give her all your details, you're making $5,700 a month right now. This is amazing. So we could really start aggressively and safely investing your money so that way you can really maximize your opportunities to get the most of the compound interest. So you're still young. 55 years old, you're young. Okay, you're younger than my daddy, okay? And he's young. And so you all have the opportunity to really take advantage of some other things. But what I want to take my hats off to you on, Ms. Rosalind, is that you're 55 with no debt. Like that's amazing that you are
Thank you.
at
It's all
this age.
God.
Yeah, that and you have no debt and you actually have some funds. And so now what we got to do is sit down and get you a strategic plan on how to do this. And so we need to figure out, are you on Instagram, Ms. Rosalind?
No, sir, I don't have it. No, sir.
Okay.
But I follow you. I get your text. That's how, and I get emails from you. So that's how I know,
Email
when
me.
you're on. Okay.
Email that email address that it comes from, because I don't want to put it out
Yes,
to the
sir.
world, to the whole world, to get
Yes, sir.
1,000
Yes, sir.
emails. All right.
Okay. Yes, sir. Yes.
Email me, and then what I want you to do is email me. Then I'm going to personally connect you with my financial advisor. And what she's going to do is sit down with you for an hour. I would encourage you to pay her to be your financial advisor so you can start aggressively investing in a safe way. When I say aggressively, I mean like, hey, take advantage of the $5,700 a month that you have coming in. Make sure we keep some to enjoy, to spend, to do life with. And then also, how can we start aggressive? Out of $5,700, you're seeing net about $4,500. You should be putting away $1,500 to $2,000 a month. I'm gonna be honest with you.
Easy.
Easy. You know what I'm saying?
That's easy
Easy.
for me.
And then making the money work for you. But put $15,000 into a high yielded savings account. The savings account that I use right now is, let me make sure this is the correct. Yeah, it's Bank Purely. If you do Bank Purely, they're doing 5%. 5% inside of their money market account. And so that's who I currently use. Bank Purely is amazing. Put your $15,000 over there. You'll see your money growing. Then take the $50,000 that you have cash, get it out of your savings account. Because here's the truth, you guys, we do not build wealth with our money just sitting inside of a savings account. We need to have our money invested and working and making more money. If our money would have been sitting inside of the accounts last year, the S&P 500, the S&P 500 did an average return of 24%. And so those of us who are scared of investing, don't be scared of investing. Over the last 40 years, we only saw a period of 9 years that had a negative. The other years had gains, whether it's 1% to 24%, it had a gain in investment. And so that's what I would really, really recommend you do, Roslyn. So email me, I'll get you connected with her,
Yes,
and we'll
sir.
go from there. Thank you so much. Tell my
Thank
daddy
you
I said
kindly.
hello.
I will. You all be blessed.
All
Thanks
right now.
again.
Yes,
All
ma'am.
right. Bye bye.
Man, I'm loving this, y'all. We got time for one more. I got 3 minutes. I'll try and get through that quick. If you're liking this, y'all, if you're liking the Build Your Table with Anthony ONeal, can you please hit that thumbs up? Hit the thumbs up, hit the subscribe button, and I want you to share this. The reason why we're calling this Build Your Table with AO is because I want to help you build your life. The table that I'm talking about represents our life. And I want to help you build your table of life. I want to help you build wealth around your table. I want to help you build freedom. I want to help you build wellness. I want to help you build your dreams. I want to help you take the seat at the head of your table. And so this is what we're going to be doing every Wednesday. We're going to be getting better at this. We're going to be taking on more questions. We're going to be helping you. So whatever you have, if you want to come over here and talk to me about your boyfriend don't want to buy you this, I want to help you build your table. I can't wait to get into the studio because it's going to be even better. Okay? It's going to be better. So we got time for one more question. We'll bring this person up. And then after that, we will head out. If you're liking this, let me know in the comments if you're liking it. Let me see in the comments. But who we got, Jay? Who we got next? Rachel's our last one. I'm sorry to everyone else who called in, but Rachel's going to be our last one. What's going on, Queen? How can I help you?
Hello. Hey, yo.
Yo, yo,
How you
what's
doing?
up?
Hey, yo, what's up?
What's up, Rach? How you doing?
Thank you so much. I'm doing very well. Thank you so much for being an African American, young, God fearing, believing, Bible talking, Holy Ghost filled man of God. Thank you for being a pioneer in this generation for the young Black generation. We absolutely need you to spearhead that. So thank you for what you're doing.
Yes, ma'am.
On another note, I'm going to call at another time for me. Right now, I am calling in regards to my 20-year-old.
Okay.
He graduated school last year. He got a job. He's not managing his money wisely, and I'm not trying to do the thing of taking over his money to manage his money, but I kind of feel like I'm going to have to do that. He works for T-Mobile currently. He makes probably, I'll say maybe, let's just say around 25 to 30 a year. He has no savings. He really just uses his money to do the eating. He does a lot of gaming. And that's pretty much what he does. And so I wanted to know, I'm going to show him this. Of course, he will see this. So if you can just talk to him about some things that he needs to do as a young Black man and how to apply himself, because as you know, I'm sure mothers and fathers can say so many different types of things to their children, and it goes in one ear and out the other. And then somebody else comes along, says the same thing, kind of like the same way, and it just sticks. So if you can just give some advice for my son, I'd greatly appreciate that.
Yeah, man. 20 years old, making about $30,000 a year with no savings. And is he living with you, Mom?
Yes, sir.
Okay, cool. So he's living with mother. All right, cool. So for mother, you got to let him make those mistakes, and I hate to say that. I think that was one of the best things my parents did for me was, and hopefully your son will see this and hear my heart. My father, because I wasn't listening to him, allowed me to make the mistakes and allowed me to experience the fruit of my mistakes, if that makes sense. And so my mistakes led me to being homeless. My mom didn't want me to be homeless, but my dad said the only way our son will learn from his mistakes is if he lives with the consequences of his mistakes. And this is not just for, Rachel's son. This is for all of us, right? But specifically, I'm talking to her son who I pray hears my heart. I wish I could go back to 20 years old, which is so funny. This happened to me at 20. I wish I could go back to my 20-year-old self and tell myself to listen to my mom and dad. Because for 3 years of my life, I lived a life that cost me another 10. It prevented me from being where I'm at today sooner. Where I'm at the level of wealth, where I'm at the level of wisdom and understanding, where I'm at the level of building this business, I should have been here at 30 years old. But because I wanted to, let's be real, be a ladies' man, because I wanted to be popular, because I wanted to be relevant to culture and society, because I wanted to feel like I'm that, I instead chased life and popularity rather than being profitable, rather than following my purpose. And so I want to encourage your son who's watching this, not just your son, but everyone watching this. We got to start listening to our parents. We got to start not just listening to our parents, but start doing what we know we're called to do. Because here's the truth. At 20 years old, I knew I wasn't supposed to be out there in them streets. But I said, I'm young. I'm just having fun. I could do this when I'm 25. I can get on the right path when I'm 30. But I'm 20. Let me turn up. Let me club. Let me drink. Let me just have a great time with the ladies. But then at 27, I realized that was the dumbest thing I could have ever said in my life. At 30, can I be real with y'all and be transparent? I'm saved,
Absolutely.
filled with the Holy Ghost and on fire for God, but I was cussing myself out because I'm like, dang, man, I wasted all those years on people and on things who didn't love me. When I was homeless, none of them came and helped me out. When I was hungry, none of them offered me a peanut butter and jelly sandwich back then. When I was desperate, when I was depressed, none of them offered to take me to see a therapist. The only people who came and got me was my mom and my dad. The only people who said, hey, we got your back was my family, was God. And son, little bro, I pray you hear my heart. It's not worth it. And when you turn 30, you're going to look back and be like, man, I should have made a better decision. I should have listened to my mom. I should have listened to Anthony ONeal when my mom called into, the table with AO. I should have listened. Because all those friends right now that you're trying to impress, they're not going to be with you in the next 5 years. They're not going to help you reach your goals. None of the friends who I tried to impress, not one of them are with me today. Not one of them. And when I look at half of them, they're still single with baby daddies and baby mamas. They're living way above their means and living paycheck to paycheck. And if God would not have sent an earthquake my way, spiritually speaking, if God would not have allowed me to go through the hell for that season, there's no telling where I would be today. But I know for sure I wouldn't be doing this show. I know for sure I wouldn't be debt free. I know for sure I wouldn't be here. And little bro, I just pray that you hear my heart. I want you to be where God wants you to be now. Because you could be wealthy at 25. You could be wealthy at 30. You could be running your own business at 30. You could be retiring your mama at 30. And so that's what I would encourage you. And mom, and I'll say it in front of your son, you prayed the right prayers. You've done your job in training him up in the way that he should go.
Amen.
Did you make
Hallelujah.
all the right decisions? No, I don't think no parents made all the right decisions. My mom and daddy didn't make all the right decisions, but here's what I do know. Parents did the very best that they could do. And God gave you all your children to steward them because he knew what you can do. So everything that you did with God knowing what you could do. So you did the very best. At a certain season of life, especially for men, you have to pull your hands off. You don't take your prayers off of them, but you got to pull your hands off of them. And when my father pulled his hands off of me and he allowed me to go through the hell that I went through because of the choices that I made, that was the best thing my father could have ever done. I gotten the butt whippings. I've gotten the 1 a.m. sit in the garage and he's lecturing me, writing down the 6 P's, proper prior planning prevents poor performances. I've gotten, the sit in the corner and put your nose and your eyes in the corner and stand there for an hour. I got all that. But the best thing that my father could have done was allow me to fall and not help me get up, because it forced me to get myself up. And when I got up, I never fell back down that way because
Let me
I
ask
got
you
myself
this.
up. Yeah.
Okay. Let me ask you this. I'm getting ready to come into a nice amount of money from a settlement from a car accident that I was in that wasn't my fault.
Yeah.
And I want to, as a single mom at that point, I want to buy them a car now.
No,
So I have both of them in college.
no,
No, no.
no. Because how much debt are you in? Just real quick, just briefly.
I've got about 15. Most of that is medical
Nope,
and
nope, 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 nope. You remind me of, what's her name? Andrea? Yeah, Andrea. You remind me of Andrea. Yeah. Let me just be real, respectfully saying this. I think all parents are dope, but let me just say this about my sisters. Black mothers, y'all some dope mothers. I'm just gonna be real with you. Y'all think about your kids before you think about yourself.
oh yeah.
And I'm not a parent and I can't speak to that, right? But here's what I do know from a financial perspective. The best thing you can do, single mother, is make sure that you are not a bondage and you're not paying to your kids in the future. Because here's what's going to happen. If you sit there and get that money and you put it all on your kids and you have all this debt, when you get to the age of you need your kids' help and you're coming with not just physical needs because you're older, now you're coming with financial needs, financial bondage, that hurts your kids more than you buying them a car at 18, 19, 20 years old. So if I'm you as a parent, I am taking that money and I'm getting out of debt. I'm investing. So this way, when I get older, when I need assistance with living, yes, my kids will be there to help me. But I thought about this long before here. So I have investments that will pay for my assistance. I have investments that will pay for the things. So now I'm not a financial burden to you and your family, son, to you and your family, daughter, because I knew this was coming. But Black parents, we do not think about that. We would take all of our money, go buy them cars, we'll put them through colleges, we'll put them and make sure that they're happy. And we got all this debt, we got all this bondage. Then we'll get 70, 80 years old. Now we need our kids' help. Now what's happening? Now we are a financial burden to our kids. And I don't want that to happen for you, for anyone watching right now. And I've been there. I watched my mom pull in my grandmother. My grandmother had debt. She had responsibilities, and the family had to take care of those financial responsibilities. I just want you to set yourself up to not be a burden to your children. And we in the Black community, we got to start thinking about that. So I appreciate the heart. Now, if you was in a position, Rachel, and
If this is the thing, I'll get. It'll be probably about between 60 and 90 that I'll get.
okay.
So my plan was to pay everything off, and then buy them like a $5,000 car each, so they wouldn't have a payment. They would just have to deal with their insurance, that type of a thing. Because I'm tired of driving these, not excuse my language. I'm tired of driving these Negroes around everywhere. One is away in college, and one is here working and going to a community college.
You know what I'll tell you to
Is
do?
that feasible? Yes, sir.
I would pay off your debt. I would start investing into your future, your financial future. And if you have some money left over, I will go ahead and start their investment account.
Yes, sir.
Okay. I wouldn't buy them a car. I would make them work for the car themselves. But if you want to be generous, and if you want to start thinking about how can you best set your kids up to win, put $5,000 into an IRA for them and give it to them and tell them, hey, listen, show them the math. Tell them to come watch my show. I did a whole show on how, they can make, $3-4 million if they start at the age of 18 years old. Hey, I'm sowing into your future. Here's $5,000 in the IRA. No, you can't touch it right now. I love you so much that I want to see you win by the time I want to see you retire at 50, not at 67. So here's $5,000 in the IRA for you. Here's $5,000 in the IRA for you. Here's $5,000 in the IRA for you. And here is a financial advisor that I paid for you to sit down with for 3 months to show you how to continue growing this. Now we're thinking about longevity. Now we're thinking about wealth. Now we're thinking about, watch this. There's 3 keys. Everyone write this down. There's 3 keys to building legacy. The first key is relationship intelligence. The second key is wisdom and knowledge intelligence. And then the third key is financial intelligence. It's not really intelligence, it's capital. So it's relationship capital, it is knowledge capital, and then it is financial capital. You're giving them knowledge capital with financial capital right there. Here's some knowledge, you got to invest. Here's some money to start your investment off. That's what I would do if I was you. And I'll make sure that them jokers work. My kids gonna have to work. I'm gonna tell you that right now. My kids working. Like, my kids not getting nothing for free. Yeah. No, and work for me will be grades. Work for me will be, okay, are you going to school? Or what's your grades looking like? We got to start teaching our kids work, and I will take care of you. I want to spoil you. Give me a reason to spoil you. I'm not spoiling you just because you're my son or my daughter. Show me you're willing to put in the work. I want you to work like it all depends on you. And then we're going to pray like it all depends on God. But if I see you working hard, I'm going to join you in working. I'm going to make sure that you're taken care of. So that's my 2 cents. I appreciate you for calling in, Rachel. I love you.
Thank you so much.
Thank you so much. I thank you so much.
I'll definitely call in later and tell you about this whole situation, and I'll bring him on as well.
Thank you. I appreciate it. I really do.
All right.
You know what, you guys? Man, this is amazing. Just seeing you all stay with me this long, man, this is amazing. This is amazing. This is what we're doing every single Wednesday. We're going to get Jay on the camera and the mic next time so y'all can see him and be dialed in and be tuned in. Every single Wednesday, I want you to tell your friends, would you tell your family to tune in during the lunch hour. Just put me in your ear and we're just going to dive in. Just having a conversation. I'll be doing a little bit of teaching. I'm going to try and get that teaching down to 30 minutes. And then from there, we can just take questions for an hour and a half and just help you build your table. But again, as we're closing out today's show, you guys, I really want to remind you to be a part of the family. If you enjoyed today's conversation, before you leave, can you do me a huge favor and hit that thumbs up? And also, can you share this with a friend by subscribing? As a matter of fact, let me do this for you real quick. I want you to take a picture. And share this on Instagram. As a matter of fact, I'm about to put y'all on speakerphone. Jay Bowen, don't say nothing crazy, man. I got you on speakerphone. I'm live on my TV show, bro. Say hello to the people, man.
What's up, man?
What's up, brother? I'm going to call you back as soon as I get off, but I got you on live.
Good, brother.
All right.
Sounds good, brother.
Yo, that's my brother, man. We are doing a big photo shoot with the celebrity Jay Bowen here this weekend. And so I just wanted to pick him up, man. He has styled everyone from Sarah Jakes, from Morris Chestnut to Tyra Banks to, I mean, just a lot of people. So I'm really excited to have my brother doing my photo shoot, updating my photo shoot for some big projects we have coming here soon. And so we're about to check in with that. But listen, I want you to join the E3 family. Okay. I want you to do that. Can you do that by hitting subscribe? Hit subscribe, share this with a friend, share this on Instagram, tell everyone they need to go watch this so they can learn how to take advantage of the SAVE program, how to take advantage of the student loan cancellation stuff that is going on. And then so they can just share and see this. Every Wednesday, we will be here, all right? Every Wednesday, we will be here. Don't forget to check out tomorrow's show. We have a special show with a young man who served 20-something years in prison and has become a wealthy person. He was supposed to spend the rest of his life in jail, but God saw fit to let him get out. And today he's married with a beautiful family and building wealth. And I really want you to check out this show. It's going to be a special. It's going to be a different show tomorrow. All right. So join the E3 family. And y'all, we'll see you on the next show. Peace out.